Hi, I'm Ferdy Serum, and I want to welcome you to this first session for our Taos Fandango, a meeting of the New Mexico FACES, Family and Community Engagement Solutions. We're going to be working together on language and cultural preservation, connecting communities through the arts. And in order to do this work, it's very important that we understand power and how it affects us. Martin Luther King defined power as the ability to achieve purpose and affect change, which means that on its own, power is neither inherently bad or good, but what makes it dangerous is the way it's used. And there are four kinds of power: power over, power to, power with, and power within, according to Brené Brown. You can check out her article there at the link below. Many of us are uncomfortable with power because what we've experienced is power over. And people who use this kind of power use fear. Their idea is that power is finite and must be hoarded and protected. And so fear is the best way to make sure that you control your power and the people under you. By contrast, in our community, we're looking at power to, power with, and power within. And people working in this way believe that power is infinite because it expands when it is shared. So our goal is to empower learners in their communities, particularly families, and so it's important to understand how this is going to work. This idea of power within and power with is the basis of a learning culture that's based on critical thinking, evidence, information from multiple perspectives, and above all, listening with respect. And this allows us to do servant leadership, where our goal is to be in service of others rather than having others serve us. So with this basis of power, let's think of how we can grow your power. And what we're going to be doing is using, again, this metaphor of the hand for the 5 conversations we're going to have in Taos. It's going to focus, as I mentioned at the beginning, on language and culture preservation. We're going to be focusing also on family well-being. We're going to use the arts to connect our communities, and we're going to improve the economic vibrancy of these communities through the opportunities that broadband can provide for digital media entrepreneurship and economic well-being. And the secret of our success is peer coaching, learning to be a peer coach for digital equity. Let's take one of these examples and look at it, family well-being from La Tormenta. The animal families told us, especially the bees, that it's important to grow and eat healthy foods. The venados, the deer, told us we must get outside and connect with nature. The wolves told us we have to get restful sleep every night if we're going to be healthy. Tecolote told us that the fresh air and calming breaths are very important to our well-being. And the truchas reminded us that water is life. Everything has to stem from access to clean water. So our society and our healthy communities all must work together to meet these types of goals. And if we're going to do this, it's important that we know our power. Everything we do with our hands, we make things, and it takes both hands to make them. Our left hand is our personal power that we have, and our right hand is the power we have when we join with others as a team. So let's look at what's in our hands. First is quality. We make our judgments about quality. We evaluate whether something is good, needs help, or needs to be started over, and that's very important that we understand the quality of what we're doing. We have to focus on what we're doing because we can't do everything all at once, and so focus, that what's the first thing we're going to do, is very important. We also need to know that along the way this work is difficult. There will be conflict, there will be challenges, there will be anger. And we have to learn how to deal with our emotional reactions to the world around us in ways that are healthy and constructive. That doesn't mean ignoring it. So our feelings are very important to consider. Commitment means we're in it for no matter what. Anyone who, like me, on your left hand, if you have one of these rings, you know about a lifelong commitment. You know that with the joys it brings, it also brings heartbreak. So we have to be prepared to work through the difficult times and not let that shake our commitment. And ultimately, trust is the key. We can't get anywhere without trust, and so that's going to be essential to us as individuals and also within a community. When we work as a team, that trust is what allows us to do the coaching that we're going to do, that is the secret of our success. And our commitment to equity is unyielding. It's not going to stop, and we're not going to stop until we can bring equity everywhere. We take the anger and frustration and the other emotional content that happens to us and we turn it into art. Co-creating, working as a team, creating and doing our storytelling is how we transform potentially negative things into powerfully positive things. And our focus allows us then to have shared priorities so that we are going to understand what we're doing first, what we're doing now, and how we can help others along the way. And ultimately, all of this boils down to storytelling, because that's how we're going to preserve the language and culture. We have two very important tools that we're going to be using here, and you'll learn about them during this conference. The Esri story maps are how we're telling our stories, and those story maps are enriched by the Adobe Create New Mexico tools that are available to every teacher and student in New Mexico. So hopefully this has showed you how you can own your power and how we will be working together to achieve digital equity through the FACES program. Thank you very much.